it's 10 o'clock. It's time for the council be in session. We have Mr. Sikowski, Mr. Pacheco. We have 3 members present. We need 7 more for a quorum. No, but I can't. We can't.
You need 10. We've got 12 here, so
yeah, then we
as soon
can
as
leave.
we have.
It's 12 minutes after 10, and we have Mrs. Chick, Mr. Fuhr, Mr. Hernandez, Ms. Sikowski, Mr. Pacheco, Mr. Padilla. We have 7 members present. Would everyone please take their seats? Please take your seats. We have a lot of presentations, and we're going to start the presentations. But first, let me point out that this is a meeting of the City Council for the City of Los Angeles on the 17th day of September 1999. There are 15 council districts in this city. The regular meeting days are Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We are currently being viewed by cable subscribers throughout the Los Angeles area on Channel 35, and we're also being monitored by council phone. So please, would you please come to order? We do have some presentations, and we're going to start first with Ms. Sikowski. Did you have a presentation?
And Nick's not quite ready. There's people right here.
Okay.
Actually, Mr. President, I have 2 today, and I would first like to ask Steve Afriet to come forward and join me. Steve is not a person who needs introduction around this chamber. He's someone who we are very familiar with, and we are here today to commend him and thank him for his recent years of service as a commissioner on the Animal Regulation Commission. But Steve's career has been much longer than that in terms of his involvement locally. He started back in 1972 as a field representative to a state assemblyman. He spent a year and a half serving as a consultant to the California Assembly's Committee on Elections and Reapportionment. In addition to that, he actually was in this building as on the other side of the rope as a staff member and chief of staff, actually, to former council member Zev Yaroslavsky. He has been very, very involved in his community and in electoral politics and representing a number of agencies, particularly nonprofits, in their efforts to receive grants, to lobby members of the council on various policy matters, and always for the greater good. The communities and the organizations he's been involved with include the West Valley Jewish Community Center, San Fernando Valley Head Start, co-founding the AIDS Walk in Los Angeles, which is hugely successful and now an annual event that is something that we all look forward to. He's been members of the LA Arts Council, on the board of directors of the Gay and Lesbian Adolescent Social Services, and actually served as well on the County Commission, the Business License and Tax Commission. But most recently, what Steve is standing here for today, despite all those other honors, is his good number of years of service as an animal regulation commissioner. And we all know that animal services in the city were being woefully neglected. It did not rise to the level of a high funding priority in the city, and our city and the animals in our city suffered as a consequence of that. Steve helped bring about some changes there, heightening the public awareness of the problems, working to get increased budget, actually working very significantly to help bring the new general manager, who I think is also a breath of fresh air, and making some significant changes in animal regulation. There, as we all know, sometimes serving on a commission, particularly that commission, it has an awful lot of public interest, a lot of late-night meetings. Just recently, we saw that one of the Animal Regulation Commission meetings had a couple hundred people. We don't generally even draw that many here at the City Council, but the interest in animal care, animal control, and animal issues was such that that's the kind of issues that he has had to deal with. So we are very sorry. I am very sorry to see him leave that commission, because I think he had the right temperament. He helped listen to all sides and helped forge a number of positive changes in that department, including increasing the budget allocation, increasing the enforcement of leash laws violations, heightening public awareness of the need for rabies vaccine, and actually taking those commission meetings very often out into the communities, which we all know is the best way of providing close contact and access with our public. So Steve, on behalf of the members of the City Council and the Mayor, we are thanking you for that effort and hope that we will find yet another appropriate responsibility for you to continue your many, many years of public service. Thank you.
Mr. President.
Ridley Thomas.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the council. I rise to echo the sentiments ably expressed by Ms. Zakowski, and to say that Mr. Afriyat has been a soldier in the Army to bring more credibility and sanity to some of the long-standing problems related to animal regulation and animal services. And Steve, we just simply take this opportunity to salute you for your service to the city of Los Angeles. Thank you very much.
Mr. Wax.
Well, let me just briefly add my commendation to Steve. You know, I've probably known him longer than anyone, and sometimes you know a person so well and you respect them for the values that they have and the kind of person they are, but you don't necessarily see them in action in a way. But we had what could have been a very volatile meeting in my district, several hundred people coming to the Lakeview Terrace Recreation Center for a meeting of the Animal Services Commission, and the professionalism with which Steve handled the meeting, the ability to allow people to talk, to express themselves, to vent when they felt they did, and to give respect to each person, and to listen to each person, and to treat and make sure that people were responded to, really impressed me that he really was able to do the kind of job I always thought he would be able to do, but seeing it firsthand was something that was truly impressive, and I know that we're not seeing the last of Steve Afriyat, maybe not on this commission, but in many more ways as he serves this city.
Mr. Hernandez, I want to point out to the members of the council that we have about 15 presentations today, so if we're going to all comment, we're going to be here for a long time.
Mr. President, I take your comments very seriously, and I also believe my comments are serious, and that's why I pushed my button. Members of the council, today we're going to be basically looking at a new commission being established by the charter dealing with neighborhood councils. And the whole reality is the original charter created commissions so that the citizens of Los Angeles would have a participatory role in policy setting. And there were some questions being asked at the beginning of the term of this mayor, in that many of the people that he was appointing to commissions had also served a variety of different roles. And in Steve's case, he's known as a lobbyist, as a consultant, and someone who basically wears many hats. But what you need to understand that as the president and as a member of the commission, he basically was able to create a bridge between my council office in regards to the issues that were affecting that department. And on an ongoing basis, it was like before all the meetings, he was communicating with us as to the issues and the importance of the issues to the city, the importance of those issues to the department, and how it is that it impacted the citizens of Los Angeles. That's the kind of involvement and commitment that if many of the commissioners displayed, it would allow us to have a much greater working relationship, because we'd understand the issues a lot clearer from the perspective of the citizens of the city. And I just wanted to make those comments because he was able to do that. And rarely do I see that kind of involvement from many of our commissioners who put in many, many hours as volunteers, but don't clearly understand the relationship between us as public policy makers and them as representatives of the community. I just wanted to make those comments, Steve, because I thought you did that very well.
Thank you, Councilman.
Would you, Mrs. Chick? Yeah, thank you. We want to
Yes,
hear this.
just to add to the full picture, many of us know Mr. Afriyat in his role as a caring and effective commissioner, and we also know him as a very effective campaign consultant and lobbyist. But I want to also point out that with all of these roles and work that he had, he managed to take time some years ago to go back to school and to be licensed as a marriage, family, and child counselor, which just represents another aspect of his personality and the depth of understanding and caring that he has for we human beings. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Steve?
Mr. President, members of the council, I'll be very brief. I want to thank my dear friend and council member Cindy Misakowski for her generous words in this beautiful presentation. And I'm deeply honored to be here today, and I thank all of you for your individual comments and the private comments I've gotten from you over the years working with you. I want to acknowledge some of you, and you know who you are, whether it was Mr. Ridley Thomas for his hard work in helping us to get the issue of pet population control before the City Council, to Councilman Fuhrer, who got the issue of facilitating and expediting barking dog complaints before the council for review and consideration, and all of you in between with whom I worked over the years, Councilmember Chick, who chaired the committee during my tenure, allowing us to bring the issue, and there are two, of protecting the public from animals and protecting animals from the public before the City Council. And we are grateful, and I am grateful to have had that opportunity to serve. My friend Mike Hernandez will tell you that service is its own reward, and I am so grateful for the opportunity to serve this City Council, the mayor, the citizens of Los Angeles, and the pets of Los Angeles. And I thank you all very much.
Thank you. One more presentation. Mr. President, if I can also take just a quick moment, I'd like to invite former council member Bobby Farrell and the group that he's with here from the International Cricket Association. Members of the council, we have been having a major competition, a major sports competition, a major international sports competition. For anyone who's been looking at the paper recently, you're seeing pictures like this in coverage in the valley sections of the paper. It looks like a regular sporting event and should be on the sports page, but it's not. It's on the Metropolitan News page because it's the first time that the City of Los Angeles has been host to an international cricket competition. And it is, I was there at opening day a few days ago, an international competition between the two teams who are competing, Australia and India, will take 5 days, and that's what's going on now in Woodley Park in the San Fernando Valley in the Sepulveda Basin. We have a world-class cricket natural grass field there, and I think we'll hear from some of these people who are here as I'm introducing them to tell you about cricket coming to LA, cricket coming to the United States. The day that I was there, we had school children from Los Angeles Unified School District school in the city who are participants playing cricket. It is being introduced in our school. It teaches, as we all know, sports can, respect, commitment, discipline, and an educational process in its own, as well as team and sportsmanship. So I would like to introduce former member of the LA City Council, Bob Farrell, and I think he will introduce a few of the other members who are here today from the International Cricket Association. Bobby?
Thank you very much, Cindy. And colleagues, and especially Mr. President, I'm very, very pleased to stand before you today to introduce these very distinguished visitors. Until Tuesday evening, Los Angeles is the center of the cricket world. At Woodley Park, we have some of the folks competing from Australia and India who represent the very, very best in cricket. Now, as I just visited President Ferraro, he asked me, Bobby, how do you play cricket? I want to just say, John, I really don't know. I mean, it was thanks to you I had an opportunity to serve as chair of Sister Cities Committee, meet the late Tom Aston, the Consul General of Britain who was here, who introduced me and a number of you to a number of the things that represent the Commonwealth. And one of the striking aspects of that is cricket. We're fortunate to have with us today Mr. Masood Syed, President of the United States Cricket Association. We have, and I'll come back to this, the next gentleman last, because he's got a very important thing to do. The Consul of Guyana, Joseph de Oliveira. representing the Southern California Cricket Association itself. We have David Sentence, the treasurer, Dennis Stewart, representing its president. And then because this was such an important game, we couldn't just leave it to our local rec and park staff to handle the greens, or to some of the fellows with the local teams who do it. We have, from the Sussex Cricket Club in England, Peter Eaton, who's the grounds expert. I mean, it was just that important that someone was brought from the UK to handle the grounds, Mr. Eaton. And then, when it comes down to the competition, we have, representing India, Dr. K.B. Pawar, the manager of the Indian team. And then we have two people who are special. Adam Gilchrist is here with his wife, Melinda. Adam is the captain of the Australia A team. And then, to put the icing on the cake, we have Alan Border, the coach and the manager of the Australian team, and he is one of the world-renowned batsmen in cricket. And Cindy Misakowski, what we'd like to do is say thank you for the courtesy, thank you for coming out, and our hero has a presentation for you. Please.
Well, it's just on behalf of the group here. We've got a cricket bat that's been signed by the participating teams, Australia and India, and we'd just like to make the presentation to you, Councilwoman. Thanks for all your assistance.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think the president might eye this and think he might put some use to it here in the city council. Thank you very much, and I'd like to invite you back.
Thank you very much.
Okay, very much.
Let's call the roll.
Brzinchek, Fuhr, Galanter, Goldberg, Hernandez, Holden, Miskowski, Pacheco, Padilla, Ridley Thomas, Savornis, Wax, Walters, Farrell, 11 members present and a quorum, Mr. President.
Okay, as I pointed out, this is the meeting of the City Council for the City of Los Angeles. The first order of business,
Approval of the minutes.
Mrs. Chick moves, Mr. Fuhr seconds. There's no objection, unanimous vote. The next item,
Commendatory resolutions for approval.
there's no objection, unanimous vote. Mrs. Chick?
Yes, colleagues, because Sister Jenny Lechtenberg has to leave for something that's very important at 10:30, and we will not be undertaking consideration of the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment Commissioners until after she's gone, I wanted to call your attention to the fact that she is here with us today. She did come before your Government Efficiency Committee, and hopefully all of you have read her biography and probably, like similarly to myself, didn't have to read it to know the good work that she's done in our communities and for the city. I just wanted to have her rise and make sure that you and the audience and the viewing audience are aware that she has been present with us today. Thank you.
Sister, thank you. We'll take it up later, and I think everyone in the council knows you personally, so shouldn't be any problem. Unless we reject everyone, so. Okay, we will continue with the presentations, and I want to point out that we have an awful lot of them today. Mr. Wax?
Yes,
for an introduction.
Mr. President, I'll be brief. I want to make an introduction of some very, very distinguished guests that we have with us today who are going up to the mayor's office in just a moment. As you know, the largest Thai temple outside of Thailand is in my district near Roscoe and Coldwater in the San Fernando Valley. And the Thai community has made enormous contributions not only to the San Fernando Valley, but to the city of Los Angeles as well. At the Wat Thai Temple this summer, we've had 22 teachers who have come from Thailand to teach the Thai American students at the Wat Thai Temple and further strengthen the bonds of friendship and the strong ties between our two great countries. And I have a certificate which each of them will receive later, but I wanted the 22 guests, the teachers from Thailand, and the members of the Wat Thai Temple who are here as their hosts to please stand and be recognized by the council. We're honored to have you with us today, and we look forward to many more occasions. Or anyone in this city who has not had a chance and not had an opportunity to enjoy the many festivals, the many educational and cultural programs which occur at the Wat Thai Temple, on their behalf, I extend to each of you a warm welcome and an invitation to join the temple on its many wonderful occasions. Thank you, and I will be giving each of you your certificate and have a wonderful opportunity to visit the mayor as you study the Y2K problems and how this city is handling them and hopefully to apply them to your country. Thank you, Mr. President, members of council, and thank you, honored guests.
Thank you, Mr. Wax. Mr. Savornich, would you please come in? Members of the council, it's important that we act on 29 and 30. There are a couple of us that have to have a conflict, so we can't vote. And so we're going to take 29 and 30, and then we'll go back with the presentations right after we finish that. So, Rudy?
Members of the council, we have items number 29 and 30 before us. We have ceased presentations for a moment in order to consider these two items. So council members, if I could have your attention on items number 29 and 30. Are there any members of the council that would like to speak on items number 29 or 30? And I'll give you a moment to take a look to see if you have any questions on those two items, since I know we were in presentation mode and now we're into business for a moment. Items number 29 and 30. Okay, we'll just wait a moment so you can all catch your breath just for a moment. Okay, items number 29 and 30 are before us. Mr. Clerk, open the roll and tabulate the vote.
10 ayes.
That will be the order. And I have a request that will be sent forthwith to the mayor for the signature. Okay, we are going to be going back to presentations at this time. And I would like to recognize Councilwoman Goldberg for a presentation. Oops. Yes. May we have order in the council? We are going to be going back to presentations. Again, the chair recognizes Councilwoman Goldberg.
Thank you. I actually have two presentations. First, I'd like to ask Dorothy Harper if she would join me, please. So everybody can see you while I talk about you. Mr. President and members of the council, this is Dorothy A. Harper. She was honored recently by the city of West Hollywood for helping immigrants in West Hollywood and the greater Los Angeles area obtain amnesty, green cards, and asylum to become U.S. citizens for more than 25 years. She doesn't want to be characterized as an old-timer because, but I will say to you, because she's not, she is, however, one of the longest practicing immigration attorneys. In excellent health, keeps a completely full schedule, traces her family roots to the first misplaced persons called the Puritans, who fled religious prosecution in England, went to Holland, and then came to what was England's colonies, which after 150 years became the United States. She has a very busy practice, but she manages to work personally, hands-on, on all of her cases, to personally interact with each of her clients. She and her dedicated staff also help clients obtain services such as medical care, counseling, and housing. She works out payment plans for clients with limited financial resources. Her friends joke that if her clients were farmers, her office would be full of goats and chickens, pigs and cows. She's obsessed in some ways, in the best of the possible meaning of that word, with the need to help people who are immigrants to this country have a better life. She has dedicated her career to immigrants making a better life. She represents immigrants that have been persecuted based on the basis of race or religion, reproductive rights, HIV status, sexuality, and political beliefs. She broke new ground by helping gay HIV-positive people gain asylum and people of extraordinary ability gain status in the United States. Her good deeds and kindness, compassion, and integrity have earned her respect and love from her peers and her clients and all of us who know about her work, not just in West Hollywood, but in Hollywood and in all parts of the greater Los Angeles community. And therefore, be it resolved by the adoption of this resolution that the City of Los Angeles joins me in recognizing Dorothy A. Harper for more than a quarter of a century of service to our community. And we thank you for it. We wish you the very best of good health so that you can continue doing this on behalf of people who need your help and who become citizens of this country and who repay the society millions of fold for the kindnesses that you have offered them. Thank you very, very much. Would you like to say a few words? Certainly.
I not only am honored to receive this resolution, I want you to know how uplifting it is after many, many years of work with people who are trying very hard to obey and respect our laws, helping them obey and respect those laws. Satisfaction does come to me from the work that I do, but it is very nice to have my fellow citizens of this beautiful city recognize what we're doing. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Wait a couple of minutes. When I finish my presentation, we'll go in the back and take some pictures for you. Okay? And I have, Mr. President, one other presentation. I'd like to ask the Ramona Elementary students, kids running LA. Are they here yet, the Ramona students? Their bus is late. Well, Mr. President, if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to wait till obviously the youngsters are here. And then, if you would, I'll ask for permission to come and present to them when they
Of course.
have arrived. Thank you very much.
Okay, Mr. Pacheco?
Thank you, Mr. President, fellow members of the council. Today I'm here speaking jointly on behalf of the mayor and on behalf of my district. Tomorrow, September 18th, 1999, is designated for United Way, the Day of Caring for 1999, and it's their 9th annual Day of Caring. Day of Caring is an official United Way fundraising kickoff event where 2,000 volunteers meet throughout Los Angeles County to make significant improvements at community charity facilities. This year, volunteers will assemble at 8 a.m. at 4 central locations in central Los Angeles, the San Fernando Valley, the Santa Clarita Valley, and the Antelope Valley, before they board buses to over 25 project sites where they will paint and repair buildings, plant trees, and create murals. One of the sites is in the 14th Council District, Cal State, Los Angeles. The 25 project sites selected include homeless shelters, community centers, schools, hospice centers, other facilities where children and families live, learn, and play, such as the East Los Angeles Community Child Care Center, the United Methodist Church of Sepulveda, the Crippled Children's Society Paul Weston Center in Woodland Hills, the Men's Facility in Pacoima, the Pacific Lodge Youth Services in Woodland Hills, and the Wave in San Fernando. And on behalf of the city, I'll be presenting this to Kimberly Fenlon from United Way, who's with us. She is a native of Vancouver, British Columbia. She's been 10 years with United Way. She's taught fundraising at Vancouver Community College, and currently is the Senior Vice President in Research Development for United Way of Greater Los Angeles. So on behalf of the City of Los Angeles and the Mayor, this is a commendation to United Way for the Day of Caring in the 9th year.
Thank you, Mr. Padilla. Mr. Padilla, Mr. Pacheco, thank you, and
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, I'd like to call forward John Huang. It's with mixed emotions that I stand before you today, colleagues, and I'm sure the mixed emotions I feel are the same mixed emotions shared by everybody working in the Information Technology Agency. Today is General Manager Huang's last day with the city and with the department, and so I wanted to recognize him for his 13 years of service to the city of Los Angeles, 3 years of service with the city of Los Angeles, but his years and years of service to government in general. He's, if you know his background, has worked with the federal government, with the city of Los Angeles, and has collaborated with pretty much every level of government and agency here in Los Angeles. He was the longest standing general manager of the newly formed agency, the ITA, and his accomplishments speak for themselves. In my tribute to him, I wanted to recognize one of his goals, which was to really implement technology at greater levels and greater dimensions for the city of Los Angeles to help us as a government achieve efficiencies and effectiveness. And in that regard, before I call up Councilmember Ridley Thomas to also say a few words, I wanted to present with Mr. Huang with this resolution in a format that I know he would be proud of. For your years of service and dedication to the city of Los Angeles.
thank you.
In all seriousness, though, it's not too much to ask for a little ink and a little paper to truly give you the recognition you deserve, Mr. Huang. On behalf of the entire City Council, thank you for all your hard work, and we wish you the best in your new endeavor as a professor at Cal State Long Beach. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Padilla. Members of the council, I just simply want to join in saying that when John Huang came to the city of Los Angeles, he came with considerable experience in the public sector, having served in FEMA as his chief information officer. He came well-credentialed, well-experienced, PhD in mathematics, and is now returning to the life of the mind and advancing the work of those who are interested in advanced study in that endeavor. We owe him a great degree of gratitude for his having served as chair of the Information Technology Agency when it was newly formed. As you recall, there was several departments at the time: Communications, Division of General Services, the OISD, and then the Telecommunications Department. So, John, on behalf of a grateful city and those who benefited from the services you provided, we extend you our very best.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, council members. I have spent 35 years in the public sector working at the federal, state, and local levels. This is a very honorable profession. I've enjoyed every moment of it, for better, for worse. I think it's very important to recognize the men and women of the Information Technology Agency. I commend them to you for their loyalty and their dedication in providing extraordinary customer service and pursuing electronic government. I'm very delighted to have the opportunity to be invited to teach at the university, the California State University, Long Beach. I was told life is a beach, so this is my opportunity to go to the Long Beach. Thank you very much for the opportunity to serve the city of Los Angeles.
Three of us should get a shot.
Yes, that would be good.
Thank you, Mr. Padilla and Mr. Ridley Thomas. Mr. Hernandez?
Yes, Mr. President, members of the council, I have two presentations to make today. One is to a city employee who has now been retired, but we did not have an opportunity to properly recognize her, and I'd like to call Nancy Kubel up. Some of you know Nancy, and some of you might not know Nancy, but you need to understand that she basically has been an Angelino since her 6th birthday, a graduate of John Marshall High School, and Council President Ferraro's district. But the reason Nancy's here is she's retired from the city after 23 years of city service. And I just want to go over her history because it kind of is a trademark of a lot of city employees. Her legacy started in community services as she began work as a bookkeeper for the Watts Labor Community Action Committee. After 7 years, she eventually served as that agency's controller and co-director of the Model City Summer Youth Program. Because of her commitment at that time, she came to public service for the city of Los Angeles. And in 1974, she worked for the mayor's office on urban development and manpower programs. She also began working on the CETA programs, as well as train and supervise all program monitors, as well as providing expertise and successfully transitioned the city's manual and management information systems to an automated system. The reason I'm recognizing her is you need to understand she contributed much to the development and implementation of the city's commercial area revitalization efforts, as well as the enterprise zone and the revitalization zones, as well as the federal empowerment zone program. Whereas during her career, Nancy Kubel has contributed substantially to the development and implementation of a variety of significant workforce and economic development initiatives, which have brought jobs and improved the quality of life for many of the city's poorest communities. I think it was important that we as a city council recognize Nancy for her 23 years of contribution and dedication in that field. This resolution basically presented by the city council, the last therefore says, be it resolved by the adoption of this resolution, the council of the city of Los Angeles does hereby congratulate Nancy Kubel on her retirement after 23 years of city service. And we extend our deepest wishes for a healthful and happy retirement. And we commend her for giving full measure of devotion and betterment to our city and its people. Again, Nancy, thank you. You want to say a few? Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilmember Hernandez and City Council. I want to just thank the people with whom I had worked for 23 years. I was blessed by having a very supportive management, peer group, and staff all the time, and the privilege also of working for the Community Development Department, where I was able to see the benefits accrued from the fruits of my labor on the faces of the people we serve. It has been a joy, and I'm delighted, and I must say, too, there is life after the city of Los Angeles. God bless you all.
Let's get one. Mr. President, members of the council, I need to share with you that last time I stood up on this podium and I was with my colleagues, Mr. Padilla and Mr. Pacheco, I'm finding it amusing that the same confusion exists in their names that we found with Alarcon and Alatorre in regards to who's who. But we were talking about Latino Heritage Month. In the month of September, in the city of Los Angeles, when you're celebrating Latino Heritage Month, you need to understand that it goes back to Greek mythology. And when I'm sharing that with you, it's because it's also the month of the great Greek Cathedral Festival. And it's my pleasure today to basically be talking about Greek Awareness Month in the city of Los Angeles. Present with me is Father Bacchus. I think you all know him from St. Sophia's, a great cathedral in our city in the Benzedine Quarter. I need to share with you that 3.5 years ago, almost 4 years ago, Father Bacchus was talking to me about this festival and what it would mean in that quarter, on the corner of Pico and Normandy, where you have this great church, this great cathedral, where its parishioners basically have a history of participating, could share their culture, could share their great history with the rest of Angelenos. And he envisioned this great festival that is anticipated to have over 10,000 people. And basically, I needed to have him come before the council so that we could announce it. There's a nice poster that I want everybody to see. When we talk about Los Angeles, again, we talk about a city of many people. You need to understand that this Greek festival is being celebrated in many cities. This will be our celebration. And again, it's part of a movement that I think Father Bacchus at St. Sophia has been leading in that particular quarter to revitalize it, to share the many flavors and the richness that exists there with the rest of Los Angeles. And we talk about themes like bridges. It's important to understand the work that's going on from the community level up and how it is it's trying to create greater understanding of our people. And that's what makes us a great city. So with that, I'd like to have Father Bacchus say a few words, and I think we have a little performance we want to share with everybody.
Thank you, Councilman Hernandez. Mr. President and good friend, John Ferraro, of all of us, ladies and gentlemen of the City Council, Councilman Hernandez has said it very well. What we believe this city's future is the continuation of creative alliances. It is the only way we're going to survive as a city, to recognize always the tremendous diversity and the contribution that every group in the city makes. We have brought here today a number of Greek dancers, because our cathedral, like many of you know, is right here in the downtown periphery of Normandy and Pico. It has been designated by Lanny and by you all, poetically speaking, as the Byzantine Latino Quarter. Now, when you come to this great festival, which will be Saturday the 25th and Sunday the 26th, from noon till about 10 o'clock in the evening, you will see not only people who look like this, but people from all over Los Angeles and Southern California, because quickly we believe that this kind of festival will break the stereotypes of what it is to be close to downtown. And with Councilman Hernandez's help and his encouragement and his talented staff, we want to bring people in to see that this is not a seedy part of town that had its better years yesterday, that the better years are ahead. And we believe that working with our Latino community and all of the other cultures in the area, we can bring something beautiful so that everyone will see the potential and the future development of this part of Los Angeles. So without any further ado, I want to introduce you to a diversity in culture and a creative alliance, our Greek folk dance group from the St. Sophia Cathedral, which will be singing, rather dancing in the next week or so. We also have, for example, the Lady Mariachi group that's going to be performing there too, Greek melodies with trumpets in Mexican style. So this is the way that we hope to make progress here. So I will let our group speak for itself. We hope, ladies and gentlemen, that you will take some time and pass by on Saturday and Sunday, the 25th and 26th. You will really have an extraordinary experience, and you will come back and you'll say, you know, this part of town is really terrific.
Never on Sunday.
Mr. President, with that presentation, we do have a certificate from the City of Los Angeles that says Happiness is Greek Awareness Month, celebrating the Greek Festival '99 during the month of September, with the pleasures of Greek culture and cuisine at its very best throughout Southern California. St. Sophia's Cathedral, located in the First Council District, is proud to host their celebration on September 25th and 26th on the newly renovated cathedral grounds at St. Sophia's Cathedral. It's the gateway to the newly revitalized, safe and friendly Byzantine Latino Quarter in the Pico Normandy area. Again, thank you, Father.
Thank you, Mr. Calvin. Just 10 seconds, Mr. President. I want to introduce Ted Pastras, who is the chairman of the festival and has really put all this thing together right here. I wear the collar, so I take first stage, but he's the one who does all the work. Thank you.
Father, let me remind everybody that's in the audience and the council members that your cathedral is one of the most outstanding structures in the city of Los Angeles. It's a landmark, and it's worth for everybody to go visit that cathedral. Very beautiful. Thank you. Mr. Hernandez, are you, you're finished? Okay, thank you. No, thank you. Mr. Fuhr?
Mike, you've given me a very hard act to follow. We had music, we had dancing, we have food. I have none of those things, but I have a great guy to recognize, so. You didn't happen to bring any food with you, by the way?
Sing.
No. All right, good, okay. Look, it's my real privilege this morning, colleagues, to recognize Dave Kremen. Dave Kremen has served as the president of the Lookout Mountain Association, and in that role has done some really terrific things for the neighborhood. There was, during his tenure, a horrible murder in the area, and he organized an extremely important community meeting where he really brought all the residents with police, our office, and others together to try to develop some real solutions to prevent similar tragedies from taking place. He's worked closely with the elementary school in the neighborhood to develop plans for the kids and their families in case of emergencies. He's worked with the school regarding traffic congestion to protect, again, our children, and with the fire department on fire safety issues in the incredibly vulnerable hillsides that so many of us represent. He has, in his capacity as leader of Lookout Mountain Association, succeeded in having the organization continue to grow. He has enjoyed a terrific relationship with our office because he really puts forth as much effort as anybody could possibly ask for. Here's a guy as a volunteer with a full-time job who's really committed to improving his neighborhood. And it's been said earlier today that this is the morning in which we will have the confirmations of our Board of Neighborhoods Commissioners coming here, and there are a few models better than the leadership that Dave Kremen has provided in the neighborhood I represent in the Lookout Mountain area. So Dave, congratulations, terrific work, and you really are a role model for all of us in the city. You want to say anything?
We couldn't have done it without you, Councilman Fuhr. Thank you all for having me here. We had a great group. It's always a community effort. I have to say that I had a great right hand in Stan Roskins because we worked very closely together. Your input was invaluable, and it's great to be recognized. We had a great run, and the community's better for it, so thanks.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, Mr. Fuhr. Mr. Burnson. Take about a half hour.
This will only be a half hour.
We should do the agenda first, we should do the agenda first, and then
First of all, could I ask Darrell Fisher to come forward, please? We're finally going to get rid of you, huh? Members of the council, I think all of you through the years have gone to know Darrell Fisher. Any of you have had land use situations in your district, and we've all had them. And we all know, those who've worked with him, what a terrific job he's done, both in the planning department, both as a zoning administrator and as a deputy advisory agency member. Through the years that I've been involved in the planning process, I'm not going to read all this stuff, you know. I'm just going to talk about my association with Darrell. And I can tell you that Darrell was always there to do whatever we asked him to do in the best manner and a very professional and forthright manner. And I think that his retiring is going to be a major loss to our city. He's devoted a lot of years. How many years is it altogether, Darrell?
33.
33 years altogether in the planning process, members of the council. So he's seen this city develop a planning process that is today probably one of the best in the nation, and the most protective and thorough. So without reading all of these things, I'm just speaking from my heart rather than from what's on this particular resolution. I just want to say that, Darrell, I really appreciate, and the city appreciates, the devotion and the work and the integrity that you've given to our city, and the product particularly. We're going to miss you. We're going to wish you the best of luck in the future for a healthy retirement. You know, you're much too young to retire, so I suspect we're going to see you around here someplace. I would suspect, you know. But anyway, let me take this opportunity to present you this resolution on behalf of the city. Yeah, let's Con do it first, briefly, okay?
I get to say a lot more at his retirement lunch. I just want to tell the council two things. This man joined the city service at 18 years of age. That's why he looks 38 now. And also, I'm proud to say he's a second-generation city employee and second-generation city planner.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you very much, Mr. Burnson. It has been an interesting run. I've always enjoyed all of the assignments that I've had over the years. I started off in one of the bureaus of public works at 18 and continued on going to school at night and eventually ending up in the planning department, which I really enjoyed. I wanted to have some impact on the city and the way it looks, and I think in the 30 years I've been in the planning department, I have enjoyed doing that, and I thank you very much for this recognition.
Darrell, good luck to you, and it's been really a pleasure to work with you for all these years.
Thank you.
For you.
Okay. Next, members of the council, I'd like to call forward Cindy Zamudio. Is Cindy here? Cindy, how are you? Okay. First of all, I want you all to be very quiet and behave yourself, otherwise Cindy may have to deal with you. Cindy is the super heavyweight division women's national Golden Gloves champ. Okay? And we're happy to recognize her achievements here and present her with this, but I think that there's a community group here from Crash that wish to also talk and make a presentation to her. Is that correct?
Actually, it's to you.
To me?
Yes, it's to you.
Okay. I wasn't prepared for that, but okay. Anyway, Cindy, on behalf of the City of Los Angeles, let me present this to you, okay? Would you like to say something? Oh, this is what you get, see? Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, and I'd like to thank my coach, John Hardin, Candy, and the Jeopardy program, because without the Jeopardy program, I wouldn't be able to win this championship. Thank you.
We'll take a picture of you, okay? Let's get it moving. You all know Candido, right?
Thank you, Mr. President, council members. Before I speak, I'd like to have Officer Hardin say something quickly, if you.
Thank you for having us here. One thing, I'm proud to work this Jeopardy program. It's helped a lot of youth stay out of gangs, inspire them to go to college. Some are in the military now. I have a couple going to college. This young lady made me proud in Augusta, Georgia, winning this championship. The Olympic Committee is watching her now, and we're going to hope that we're going to compete in the World Cup next year.
Mr. Burnson, on behalf of the 12th District Jeopardy Task Force, we'd like to present these gloves to you, because if it weren't for your support, this young lady would not have made it to the championships. So we'd like to present this to you, and I'll take them back from you later and take them to the office.
Okay. I just want all of you colleagues to see these. You better vote my way or else, okay?
Can I just say something about it?
Quickly, okay?
Also, we'd like to thank Jeff Belmont from the Northridge Athletic Club. If it weren't for his support, this is where the kids train, and also Mr. Larry Randazzo from Architectural Area Lighting for donating to the program.
I just want to thank the people who are involved with Jeopardy, who are really working with kids and helping them to straighten their lives out and give them an opportunity. So thank you all very much, and congratulations. Okay, here's your, I was going to keep this, but I figured I might have to defend it, you know. Okay, last but certainly not least, members of the council, we're privileged to have with us today the Granada Hills Rebs girls varsity softball team. Will they please come up and join me? Just to show you that all the great athletes come from the 12th district, right? Right.
All but the councilman.
All but the councilman, right. They overcame a very difficult season and a slow start. And I'm not going to say what the Daily News said, because I really don't approve of that. But never underestimate Granada Hills girls' power. The Rebs made a strong comeback, and they qualified to go to the Nationals in Aurora, Colorado. They had to overcome another challenge, raising the money needed to send the girls to the Nationals in August of this past year in Colorado. In just 2 weeks, they raised $5,500 with the help of the Granada Hills community. The Granada Hills Rebs finished 5th of all the girls' softball teams in the USA, number 1 in California. Their teamwork, determination, and effort are to be commended. I want to recognize, we have the coaches here, and I believe a sponsor. Coach is Edgar Gonzalez. You here? Come on up here, Coach. And a sponsor, Reb Sawitz, is here. And I don't know whether Shane Sawitz is here also. I'm going to call the names out of the girls and present them with these resolutions, if you'll help me, okay?
Love it.
Okay, very good. Candace Razzo. Okay, well, you hold that one then, okay? Reb Sawitz, who is a sponsor. Not here, okay? You can see the attendance is also great, right? But I know Edgar Gonzalez is here. He's the coach. Very good. Congratulations to you. Shane Sawitz? Not here either? Okay. Aaron Bennett. Okay, Aaron, congratulations to you. Thank you. Debbie Boshai. Boucher, I'm sorry. Debbie, congratulations. Karen Garcia. Your daughter? Okay. Katie Garcia. Katie, congratulations. Melissa Gonzalez. Cheryl Legaspi. Cheryl. Thanks. Michelle Lugo. Michelle. Congratulations. Melissa Lugo. Congratulations. Sabrina Rico. Here, Sabrina. Congratulations to you. Kristen Rodner. Did I pronounce it right? Yeah. Congratulations. Okay. Rebecca Villegas. Rebecca. Congratulations. And Annette Valles. She's not here? Okay, we'll give this one to Coach also. I'm going to ask the coach to say a couple words, if you would, please.
Everything he said, Mr. Bernstein said, Councilman, to tell you the truth, was everything that these girls accomplished. Their goals, their desires, with the help of their parents, raising the money, the community of Granada Hills, and as fast as we had to raise the money and going up to the nationals, the main thing was competing up there and not winning or losing, but going up there and achieving the main competition goals of what we achieved out there. And I'd like to tell you thank you, and Mr. Bernstein, thank you for sending us to Colorado.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Okay, you want to come back? We'll take a picture of the group in back. Follow me.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bernson. Mr. Zavornich. Rudy? Mr. Zavornich, you're up.
I think we're still have maybe. Let's go through and take all this.
If Janelle could please join me with her family, I would appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. President, members of the council. Today is a special day in council as we honor a truly remarkable young woman, Janelle Smith, who recently traveled to Calcutta as part of Billy Graham's children's ministry and who chose not to participate in her high school graduation ceremony in order that she could answer to the call to participate in this ministry in Calcutta as part of a dance and performing troupe for those less fortunate than ourselves. In addition, she performed in musical dramas twice a day before children and adults over a period of time that not only saw her make a conscious choice to leave 8 days before her high school graduation, but also her baby sister was born during this period in the middle of June while she was performing to those, again, less fortunate than ourselves. Janelle's dad is a member of the city family, being a senior environmental manager with the Department of General Services, and Janelle was quite active in high school, being part of the San Pedro High School Pirate Dancers, the cheerleading squad, Key Club, Knights and Knights, and a member of the California Scholastic Federation and Academic All-Stars. Mr. President, members of the council, now and then, coming before this council are remarkable young people who make sacrifices of themselves and of their time to make our world a little bit better. Janelle Smith is one of those fine young people and a fine young lady who answered that calling to do exactly that. Mr. President, members of the council, would you please join me in honoring a member of our city extended family, Janelle Monique Smith, for her leadership and her encouragement and for making some very hard decisions to make those less fortunate than ours life a little bit better for a brief period of time. Janelle, we're very proud of you and congratulations.
Oh, wow. I'm very honored to receive this. I was very surprised. My dad didn't tell me anything about this, but I was glad to have participated in this, and thank you, City of Los Angeles.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Savornich. Ms. Goldberg, are you ready yet, or? Okay, we have some continuations. Let's go through those.
Item number 5 and 9, a request to continue those matters until October 19th.
Is there any objections to that? Seeing none, that will be the order.
Item number 12, request to continue that matter till October 5th.
Is there any objections to that? Seeing none, that will be the order.
Item number 22, request to refer that matter to the Public Works Committee.
If there's no objections, unanimous vote.
Items number 1 through 10, except 5 and 9 on the regular agenda, are items noticed for public hearing.
Anybody want to be heard on any of those items? We have no cards. Anybody want to be heard? Seeing none, the public hearing is closed. We have any specials? We have 4, has to be a motion. Who's?
Ms. Walters is not here, but staff wishes to grant.
Okay, Mrs. Mr. Savornich moves the grant for Mrs. Walters. Mr. Savornich? All right, then prepare the roll on 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 10. Tabulate the vote.
12 ayes.
Those are approved. Mr. Savornich?
Mr. President, item number 31 is an important matter that requires 12 votes. It's an ordinance in regards to the Port of Los Angeles Tariff Number 4, and I would like to ask that we take that item out of order prior to us losing 12 votes, since that needs to go forward.
What makes you think we're going to lose 12 votes?
Well, you never know, Mr. President.
Stick around. Okay, is there any discussion on item number 31?
Just trying to be prudent, Mr. President.
Anybody want to be heard on that in the public? Seeing none, the public hearing is closed. Any discussion? If not, prepare the roll on 31. Tabulate the vote.
12 ayes.
That is approved. Forthwith on that.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay, now we have, members, we have item number 11. There has been a public hearing on this already, but we do have people who want to be heard. And if we listen to all the people, we may lose not only the 12, we might lose 10 or 11 members of the council. So what is your suggestion, Mrs. Chick?
Would 15 minutes be adequate, you
much.
think?
Yeah, that's too much.
10 minutes? I just hate for members of the public to come down and speak and not be given an opportunity, but, so I'm suggesting a 10-minute hearing.
Why don't we have 5 minutes on each side? Because I think there's a...
I guess I didn't even think about it as sides. I thought,
A few people are opposed, and there's quite a few in favor. So if there's no objections, we'll have 5 minutes on each side. All right, Dr. Eric Schockman, 5 minutes is his total. And then Gary Washburn.
Thank you, members of the City Council. I'm here today really on 2 roles. One, as an associate professor in political science at the University of Southern California, I actually brought my class who are studying urban politics, and they're here today with us. Can they just stand up real quickly? These are future politicians who are aspiring to understand urban governance. The second hat I wear is former member of the elected Charter Commission as a pro bono policy director. I come before you with some thoughts about the opportunity to look at this philosophically and trying to understand the appointment of these commissioners. I've argued over and over that the whole commission structure should probably be abandoned. It's really a 19th century agrarian homogeneous structure that was something left over during that period and should have been abandoned a long time ago. But the reality is it's here now, and what do we do with these commission appointments? I truly believe the commission, as we now have it composed in front of you, these commission members are a diverse reflection of Los Angeles. We will never have a total agreeable constellation. I think we will enter into hyperpluralism, but ultimately I believe they deserve to be ratified.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you very much.
Gary Washburn and then Kim Savage.
Mr. President, members of the council, my name is Gary Washburn. I'm a healthcare executive and a realtor, and very active in the community, particularly in Devonshire Division. I've done a lot of things in the community. I am here today to support the nominees of the mayors to the Neighborhood Council Commission, particularly a friend of Lee Alpert's, and if Lee's qualifications are typical of all of those of the nominees, these are good choices, and they'll do a good job, because I know that Lee and Mr. Burns have involved us in the community. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Kim Savage, and then Helen Johnson.
Good morning. Thank you very much. My name is Kim Savage. I'm a resident of Northridge and a second-generation Angelino. I'm here in support of all of the nominees to the commission. I'm familiar with all of their work in the community, and some of them I know personally, but I support all of the nominees. Thank you.
Thank you. Helen Johnson, and then Vernon Rux.
I'm Helen Johnson with the Vermont Square Community Organization, and I'm here to support the mayor's nominees. I find them all very qualified people, and I do not question his judgment. Thank you.
Thank you. Vernon Rux, and then Matthew Rodman. And Cecil Callaway. You're walking slowly and the time is running.
Vernon's not here, so I'll move up. Matthew Rodman. I'm the president of the Brentwood Homeowners Association. Our organization represents over 3,000 homes in the Brentwood area. Also the president of the West Los Angeles Police and Community Together, the main fundraising arm for the Westlake Community Police Station. The mayor's nominees represent a good cross-section of our community. Their backgrounds appear to offer the best opportunity for a fair and reasonable appointments to neighborhood empowerment councils. I strongly I encourage you to support the mayor's slate. Thank you.
Cecil Callaway, then Vic Reeves.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I just in favor of the mayor. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Venda Reeves, Vivian Bell Holm.
Mr. President, I'm Benita Reeves from the Vermont Square area, and I'm here to represent what am I here for? Okay. I agree with the mayor's decisions on all of his appointed committee.
I guess I should have been here a minute too earlier.
What is your name?
Vernon Rux from Vermont Square, and I'm here to represent the mayor, and I approve of all of his decisions.
Okay, J. Richard Lerner. Your name, please.
My name is Vivian Roan, and I'm here to speak a good word for our good mayor. He's been a very good mayor, and we're very proud of him, and we hope that he continues to work for us. Even when he's out of office, he will continue to work for us. Thank you very kindly.
Thank you. J. Richard Lerner.
Thank you. I'm here representing the United Chambers of Commerce of San Fernando Valley, and I would like to also recommend that we accept the advocates and the designees of the mayor for neighborhood councils.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Kathy Choi, and then Bonnie Herman.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Kathy Choi. I'm here to represent Korean American Coalition, a nonpartisan organization which works to promote and advocate the interests of Korean and Asian Pacific Islander communities throughout Greater Los Angeles. I'm here today to lend support for the mayor's nomination for Board of Neighborhood Commissioners, especially for Mr. Christopher Pack, who has recently been nominated to serve on the commission. As a business leader in our community, he has worked with our organization and others to redevelop Koreatown after the civil unrest in 1992. Since then, he has served as a member of our board of directors, where he played an important role by bringing our concerns about economic development as well as community concerns to the attention of city officials. We would like to recommend that you also approve his nomination, and as the only Asian Pacific American nominee, we believe that it is important that his presence is part of the commission. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bonnie Herman, and
Thank you,
Flora
Mr.
Christoph.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the council. Bonnie Herman, I reside in Woodland Hills. I'm representing VICA today. And the true spirit of VICA, which is a nonpartisan organization, we will not be opposing or favoring a particular slate of candidates for this very important commission, but we do commend you on this very, very important process and tell you that we're very, very much behind it, and we'll be working, as we have in the past, on all the developments and the ordinances. So I thank you very much for your deliberations. I'll share the letter with you today that reminds you that we are a nonpartisan organization.
Yeah, glad to hear that. Flora Christoph.
Thank you. I am the current chairwoman of the Brentwood Community Council, which was just recently established a year ago by Councilwoman Cindy Miskowski. And I'm here to ask you to please support all of the mayor's nominations, all of them. And we're very appreciative of Cindy's efforts and all of your efforts here to move the process forward. Thank you.
Jackie Raymond, then Gwen Vecious.
Hello, my name is Jackie Raymond. I represent many organizations in Brentwood. I'm president of the South Brentwood Homeowners and of Brentwood Federation, all of the homeowners, and Brentwood Green, and I am on the Brentwood Community Council. And I know that the feeling of the people in Brentwood is overwhelmingly approval of the mayor's slate. These people have amazingly varied backgrounds, which I think very important to establishing the community councils, and I would like to say that we do approve of the mayor's choice.
Gwen Vecious, and then Alice Longorno.
Good morning. My name is Gwen Vuchis. I live in the Westchester Playa del Rey community, and I am here this morning. I know a lot of people in the community have been very involved in many organizations with the YMCA, Pacific Area Community Police Advisory Board, Pacific Area Boosters, Chamber of Commerce, and Rotary. So I know the community well, and I'm here this morning to support the mayor's appointment, but especially Christopher Pack, who is a resident of my community. I've had the opportunity to work with Chris in several organizations, and he would be an excellent, excellent appointment for the city of Los Angeles on this. Thank you.
Thank you. Alice Longorno.
My name is Alice Longoria. My mother is being appointed to the committee, and I'm here in support of the appointments, and particularly in support of my mother. I'm an attorney at Kirtland and Packard, and
You have a conflict of interest, I believe.
oh no, sir. Actually, with most kids, that would not be the case, but she is an amazing addition to your committee, but in particular, she is blessed with the ability to recognize the neighborhood problems and really rise above them. She's been recognized by the Janet Reno, and I think that it would be an addition to the to your a credit to your decision-making process if you would add her to the committee. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, then now those in opposition. Gordon Murley and Eugene Austin.
Gordon Murley, President of San Fernando Valley Federation and Woodland Hills Homeowners. And we're rather disappointed in seeing the same usual faces come up to be appointed within this city. And we don't find anybody that has really been grassroots, has worked at the local levels and the neighborhood levels and spent a lot of time in the city trying to make good planning happen for this city. And we would ask that you do not rubber stamp, because that is not why the people passed the charter reform. They hope to get a good diversity. They hope to get people who have been there for the protection neighborhood, and you have a number of people here who we've never seen at any neighborhood or any public entity protecting neighborhoods, and you have people who sit on boards who have not always been friendly, and too much of it is business-oriented. We don't see anybody here who has really the interest of the neighborhoods at heart. So we would ask that you send it back to the mayor and ask him to come up with fresh people who have a different perspective, so there's 360 degrees of view in this. Thank you.
Eugene Austin, and then Fran Rickenbach.
Mr. President, members of the council, I rise not actually in opposition to the nominees. I rise in support of Mr. Fuhr's report. The committee sent all of these nominees, with the exception of Mr. Pak, to the full council for consideration without recommendation. And I'd like to repeat Mr. Murley's point. Please don't rubber stamp these candidates, discuss them, and let's have a full hearing on each of these candidates. Thank you.
Bach and then George Abraham.
Hi, I'm Fran Reichenbach. I can't say that I oppose this whole slate here. I support the spirit of the charter reform the way it was written, and the presence of Christopher Pak in this commission is it's starting out on a bad foot when it comes to community reflection of community interests. There's been too much exposed in the government efficiency meeting. Too much was said about this particular issue. Also, in the government efficiency meeting, they asked certain questions. One in which they said, "Okay, it's easy for you all to organize, to harness the energies of an already pre-organized area. What do you plan to do with an area that has not been organized heretofore?" And there were no good answers to this. Somebody said, "Oh, I'll suggest to those people that they keep their eyes and ears open." That's not good enough. We need somebody in this group that has already organized an unorganized area, that's gotten down and rolled their sleeves up and gotten messy. And I suggest that you at least replace Christopher Pak with somebody from the community. Thank you very much.
Okay, George Abraham.
Hi, I'm George Abrahams, President of the Beechwood Canyon Neighborhood Association. The most glaring omission in the Dunn Commission nominees is the absence of a representative of a property owner's residence or neighborhood association or block club. These local associations are the backbone of our city and the model for neighborhood councils. The commission, as one of its first official duties, will establish the rules controlling the conduct of neighborhood councils. The experience of neighborhood associations is most needed at this critical point in development of our city under the new charter. There is a wealth of experience and talent in the large network of hundreds of neighborhood associations and the regional umbrella groups that exist and has existed in many cases for over 60 years. A commission that does not have any members that are fundamentally concerned with the local issues will not have a native understanding of what is required to make neighborhood councils effectual. Neighborhood associations should not have to fight to be heard, but rather should be part of the process. The Dunn will be richer for the inclusion of neighborhood association representatives in its commissions. I request that the City Council not approve the current slate of nominees and suggest to the mayor that he nominate some representatives of neighborhood associations to the Dunn Commission.
Thank you very much. We did deal through all the cards, and so the public hearing is closed. Would Mr. Weinberg come forward, sit at that table, and then Pat Duran, and then Kenneth Weaver, and then at the next table, Sister Jenny had to leave, Lee Alpert over here, Mary Louise Logorno, Christopher Pak, these are the 6 of the 7 appointments, and Sister Jenny. All right, Miss Chick.
Yes, colleagues, hopefully you've read the report from your Government Efficiency Committee, and had you been at that committee, you would have experienced Mr. Fuhr and I having a certain amount of angst in our deliberations. What we certainly both agreed upon is that and I will say 7, since Sister Jenny is here in spirit, if not in physical presence, that the 7 citizens of Los Angeles whom the mayor nominated for this commission, each as individuals, are not only qualified, but are admirable in terms of the breadth of their experience, the variety of their experience. I chose to send all 7 nominees forward to you without any recommendation for the following reasons. 1, because I felt that this was a very unusual opportunity for the council to scrutinize and deliberate on the entire makeup of a commission, something that, at least in my time on the council, has never occurred. And particularly in light of charter changes that have influenced or will going forward upon its adoption, the role that the council plays in commission appointments and gives us the sole role of approving or turning down. That again, this was an important and rare opportunity to have a very thoughtful discussion. And finally, because this commission is particularly important for the future of this city and a very key part of what the public voted on in charter reform, again, I felt that sending you all of the nominations without recommendation would help promote the most unbiased, uninfluenced, and thoughtful scrutiny and deliberation on our part. Finally, I did express some concerns while also admitting and realizing that the job before the mayor in choosing these 7 nominations was a difficult one. We are a very big and complex and diverse city, and our diversity can be exemplified in many ways. But I did feel that there were some gaps that were perhaps significant. Geographic areas in the city that do not have a resident on this commission, and socioeconomic diversity that I felt was not particularly expressed by the experience of the 7 nominees. In our deliberations on the ordinance establishing the Department of Neighborhoods, many of you introduced amendments. I was one of the council members that voted against those amendments for the following reasons. I felt that it was very important for the council not to take a micromanaging role once the charter had been passed, and to allow the mayor his primary job of choosing both the general manager and commission members. And I had high hopes that he would do the very best possible job. In speaking with some of my colleagues who introduced those motions, admitted to them that some of the very points that I'm raising to you were addressed in their amendments, and perhaps had we adopted them, I would have had no cause to point out some of the gaps that I feel are noticeable. With that said, I very much am interested in feedback from all of you, and think that, or hope, that we have the kind of debate and discussion that the importance of this commission merits, and that our role in appointing commissions merits. Thank you.
Mr. Burnson.
Yes, members of the council, we've gone through a process. The voters have spoken, and this is what they've instructed us to do. I don't know the other members that are being nominated by the mayor, but if they're the same quality as the one that I do know, and that's Lee Alpert, who has served as chairman of my Citizens Advisory Committees for the past 20 years, I know that they will be of a very high quality and very capable of doing the job that they've been asked to do by the voters of Los Angeles. I can tell you that we plan to continue our Citizens Advisory Committees in our district. They will act as advisory to me as they always have, and they deal with the various activities such as planning and such as street use and so forth, police, fire, and public safety. And they've been very successful, and I think that if we can develop a program similar to what we've enjoyed for the past 20 years and what has really assisted me in trying to serve my community, that this will be beneficial to the city. I trust the mayor's judgment, and based upon what I do know about the example of what he has appointed, I think they will do a fine job, and I think that we should move forward and get them started in doing what the voters have instructed all of us to do. Thank you.
Ms. Miskowski.
Thank you, Mr. President. And I appreciated the comments made by the chairperson of this committee, and not only today, but in the response and the report, because what it gave us, I think, as a non-recommendation was it told each member of the council to be more deliberative, that that's what was important. And I remember the debate and discussion we had about whether or not we as a council should give direction to the mayor about what we would like to see. And members, what we would all like to see is the perfect ideal commission. And if we went around the room, all 15 of us would come up with a different group of 7 people to be that perfect ideal commission. Having seen what the committee did, I took the time, as I think many of us did, to really look at the material that was given to us and read each of the biographies, each of the submittals, each of the comments by the Ethics Commission about each of the 7 people who are being presented today. And members, I was impressed. It may not have been the committee or the commission that I would have selected, but I was deeply impressed by the variety, the depth, the involvement. We've heard some say, but they're not community representatives. But what that means is they're not community representatives as I define community representatives. But they are each community representatives in their own way, in what they've been involved in and what they are doing. And I commend them. I have no problem in voting affirmatively today for all of them, not as a rubber stamp, but I think as a representation of the variety of our city and the experiences in our city. There are a few, I think 2 or 3 that I do know, and the 2 that I know are Mr. Pack and Mr. Alpert. And I know them not only from various involvements, but most specifically because they have been on commissions. They've been on commissions, both Building and Safety and the Board of Zoning Appeals, that deal with planning and constituent matters. I myself have appeared before those commissions, as my staff has on many occasions. Do Mr. Alpert and Mr. Pack always agree with me and always vote the way that I suggest in representing my community? No. But I do not believe that I should hold a vote against either of them, and I'm not intending to or inclined to, because they may not have agreed with me. In both instances, and in those 2 instances of going before them, more often than not, they are deliberative, they take the testimony, they weigh it, and they make an independent judgment. I try my best to persuade them, as others do in the pro and con, and for the most part, I think that they have voted deliberatively and well, even if not 100% down the line that I would like to see. So with that analysis, members, I feel very, very strongly and comfortable that this is before us a group of commissioners and our first chance at creating a whole new structure for the city. Perhaps more importantly than any other commissions that those who have served have been on before, that this is a neighborhood commission. Neighbors, community participation is going to be critical. But just as we heard today, we had neighbors from our communities, both pro and con. That's what this commission is going to see, that's what we're going to see, and I wish you well.
All right, Mr. Fuhr.
Thank you, Mr. President. In sitting with Ms. Chick and evaluating these nominees in committee, I chose to assess their abilities through the following lens. Their job would be as commissioners to set the policies that create the conditions in which residents in our neighborhoods feel that they can truly make a difference in shaping the quality of life. And I'm looking at them and assessing their skills in the light of whether they have the capacity to bring resident and merchant, commercial property owner and social services provider, educator and member of law enforcement to the same table to try to forge a consensus about the issues that matter most in neighborhoods, setting the policies, not executing those policies. And the questions that we asked of them, I think in the main reflected that that is their fundamental job. Because it is broad policy setting that is their goal, and because there are only 7 slots, there is both, I think, no capacity for any mayor to select a group that would truly reflect the desires of each of us here, and there is a need for diversity of perspective, but not necessarily diversity of every single element in our city. It couldn't happen. It's not necessary that it does. Having said that, I, in committee, moved that 6 of the nominees be approved by the council, and that one nominee, Mr. Pack, move forward without recommendation, either pro or con. A number of my constituents in particular came forward with respect to Mr. Pack's nomination and spoke about his nomination with concern. And I have had the opportunity to work with him as a member of the Board of Zoning Appeals, and I had some questions. Mr. Pack and I met personally both before and at length after that meeting. In light of what I feel is the charge of these nominees, and in light of the committee hearing and those conversations to which I just alluded, I will move the whole package today, and will support each of them. And I will say to my constituents, who a great number have expressed concern to me about Mr. Pack's nomination, Chris and I have had long conversations, and I'm supporting all these nominees for the reason that I am supporting Mr. Pack's nomination, and that is through the committee hearing process, we got, I think, specific commitments from these nominees to work to reconcile differences in neighborhoods, and most importantly, again, create the conditions in which that reconciliation and empowerment can take place. So that's my motion.
Thank you. Mr. Hernandez.
Mr. President, members of the council, someone who on this council has been recognized for the Neighborhood Empowerment Congress and so forth, Mr. Ridley Thomas, is not present. And I think that's a statement, and it's a statement I also believe maybe I should be making. And whether I'm going to cast a vote on this group of people, I'm not sure. And it's because I don't have a problem with the people before me. The reality is I have a problem with the people who aren't before me not being represented. You know, if you were to take the founding markers of the city of Los Angeles, those 23 square miles, for whatever reason, this mayor chose not to find someone from that particular area, whether it be the 1st Councilmanic District, the 13th, or the 14th. And it's an area that basically has dealt with the lack of a voice. And the courts forced the creation of the 1st Councilmanic District because that voice did not exist. When I talk about the communities of Pico Union and Westlake, the reality is I'm talking about an emerging community, a community that is known as a Central American community that doesn't have a voice. When we deal here with slumlord, landlord task forces and the fact that we cannot find the funding in the general fund to provide for inspections, the reality is there's nobody here who talks about the rights of tenants in the city of Los Angeles. When we deal like issues of fighting prisons and pipelines and toxic clouds that force evacuation of neighborhoods, there's nobody here who's had to deal with that issue. When you talk about not having a home school for your children to go to because they have to be bused, there's nobody here to deal with those issues. Yet they're supposed to represent neighborhood councils. I have a hard time casting a ballot knowing that none of the people before me have been participants in those kinds of issues, have been basically primarily affected by those issues. And it's clear to me that the northeast part of the city of Los Angeles, regardless of its many ethnic communities and demographics, is not represented on this commission. And because of that, Mr. President, I think that I am also not going to vote. I'm going to step out because I have no problem with the individuals, but I don't think they're a reflection of this city. I think they're a reflection of 2 cities and only one of them being represented.
All right, Ms. Goldberg.
Well, my concern is that I'd like to hear from each of you what community organizing you've been involved in your lives. From my point of view, the basis of the neighborhood councils is not just to go and find the people who are already organized, but it's to find the people who aren't. One of the things I had hoped to do was to ask the mayor to make sure that at least half, if not all, of the people had some major personal experience with organizing in communities that were not organized. I do not see that reflected here. I had hoped that we would have a mix of approximately half people who were tenants and half people who were homeowners. I'd like to hear from each of you whether you're a tenant or a homeowner. I had hoped that we would have folks who represented all of the various languages, or not all of them, but most of them. I'd like to know, besides English, what languages each of you speak. I haven't made up my mind, but I will tell you that I do find it disturbing that the 5 of the 8 districts that are not represented here are the 1st, 13th, 14th, 8th, and 10th. That is a major swath of the south central portion of Los Angeles, the central portion of Los Angeles, and the east and northeast part of Los Angeles. I don't know how you come up with 7 people that not one of which is from those areas. I really don't. I'm not saying all of them should be from those areas, God forbid, but I find it hard to understand why that huge swath of Los Angeles, which contains really a very large percentage of people who are not well organized and who are underrepresented in a variety of ways throughout the city, is somehow or another got left out. So let me ask, as I sit down, for those 3 questions. Homeowner or tenant, languages other than English that you speak, and also a community organizing experience, if we could hear from each of them briefly.
Bill?
Thank you. Well, first of all, I am a homeowner and have been for a number of years, and before that I was a tenant. And in terms of my experience with that, in addition, when I was running for the elected Charter Reform Commission, and on the commission, I met with both tenants groups and homeowners groups and heard both of their concerns. In addition to English, I speak French, and I'm currently taking lessons in Spanish. Community organizing, I've had experience in community organizing both. I'm on my homeowners association and a block captain, so I've done that on that level. I've also done community organizing in the lesbian and gay community, both starting organizations, being on boards of organizations, organizing in with regard to campaigns with regard to initiatives relating to AIDS and HIV, and in the Jewish community as well.
Thank you for asking me. I'm a tenant. I have been for many years, and I still am.
Just talk into the microphone.
Okay, my name's Pat Herrera Duran, and I am a tenant. I have been for many years. I belong to the Residents Association, so I do participate in my area in relation to the issues related to both homeowners and tenants. I understand Spanish well. I'm not fluent, but I do understand it. In terms of community organization, I go back many years in the area of San Pedro. I've been there since 1943. Early on in the early 50s and the 60s, we had an issue there related to a marina, and I was one of the ones who organized the group, and it took us many years, and I organized for a long, long time for the Cabrillo, to save Cabrillo Beach so that we could have the marina and the beach for the use of the people. That took a long time, and as a result, I was also on the committee that developed all of the area around the Cabrillo Beach Marina. I'm on the CRA committee right now. I was appointed by my councilman. And as chair of the Land Use Committee, we've had to organize people to come to the table to give their input so that everybody, it would be very inclusive to have their input. It would be important to have their input in that. I am also one of the founders of a statewide organization of executive directors of social service agencies. I have worked in the community with people who have been disenfranchised for 30 years. I do work with people who have problems with addiction, the homeless, people who have other kinds of family problems and this sort of thing. So I understand and I know the issues related to that. And the organization that I was talking about we here in Los Angeles. It's become a statewide organization. At one time, I was chair of that. I've had a lot of work in the community at the grassroots level. I was also appointed by my councilman to another committee in which we planned the land use related to the schools and how the land would be used by the schools, by the private industry, and the public sector. And that was a very interesting.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr.
Hi, I'm Keith Weaver, and first and foremost, I'm a tenant. I've born and raised in Los Angeles, in particular South LA. In terms of my background in community organizing in particular, you won't hear from me a long laundry list of background. I'm fairly young, so I don't have a long list of things. You won't hear me say things like since 1943 because I wasn't even thought of then. But what you will hear, not even 63, but what you will hear is I do have a significant level of professional and community involvement mainly through my roles working for state government. But I think probably what's most impressive and probably one of the things that I'm most proud of is the fact that not too long ago I was a student working my way through school. Not too long ago, I was working in retail and I was a bank teller. Not too long ago, I was assisting my mom, who owns a small hair salon in LA, sweep and clean the shop. So in terms of my perspective, I bring to this commission a variety of perspectives that will allow me to represent the entire city of Los Angeles. And I'm excited, enthusiastic about the prospect of this working.
Thank you. Lee Alpert.
Yes. My name is Lee Alpert, and I thank Councilman Bernson and Councilwoman Miskowski for kind comments. In terms of the languages that I speak English. Not often real well, but I speak English. I do speak and understand Yiddish, which was one of the primary languages in my home. I was raised by my grandparents in Detroit, Michigan, and that was their primary language. I can read and do somewhat understand Hebrew, because that was taught to me also as a young child. And in terms of other languages, I do understand a bit of Spanish, but I am not certainly fluent in Spanish. In terms of my being a homeowner, I am a homeowner. I'm proud to be a homeowner in the city of Los Angeles. And prior to that time, I was a tenant and lived in apartments, not renting other homes. In terms of community organizations, as you heard from Councilmember Bernson, I've been pleased and honored to serve for the past 20 years on his neighborhood advisory councils. They're called Citizens Advisory Councils, which represent the grassroots level of the people in the 12th Council District. I started in the Northridge Community Advisory Council, just working on committees and helping organize that council. I was honored to have been appointed as president of the Northridge Council, and then ultimately moved up as president of the overall 12th Council District Citizens Advisory Councils. And we do deal with people of all ethnic and all economic backgrounds that are members of these councils. Also, recently, within the past 2 years, I'm pleased to have been a co-founder of an organization called the North San Fernando Valley Community Foundation, and the whole purpose of this 501c3 charitable group is to bring a better quality of life programs to the Northwest San Fernando Valley, which is where I reside. I have served as a member and as president of an organization that was in existence many years ago called We the People of Los Angeles around the bicentennial, and the whole purpose of that organization was to involve the people of the city of Los Angeles in the bicentennial celebration. A hallmark of that organization was to provide English as a second language tapes to those who were not able to speak English, a series of professionally designed tapes that were distributed throughout the Hispanic-speaking community to attempt to teach English in our community to people who otherwise might not go to other organizations. I also have been a member of the Van Nuys Airport Advisory Commission and was pleased to serve as their president, which is an organization that was composed of residents and was composed of members of the air community.
I really want to know about your specific experience in community organizing. actually organizing people.
Well, I think that the specific experience in community organizing dealt with the 12th Council District Citizens Advisory Council, with the North San Fernando Valley Community Foundation, and with other organizations such as New Directions for Youth, of whom I served on a board, and organized so that they could bring the types of services that are necessary to children of all ethnicities in the San Fernando Valley. Those are a number of the experiences that I have had, and all of them have involved Councilwoman Goldberg organizing to a large extent and a large degree.
Okay. Mary Louise?
Yes. I'm Mary Louise Longoria, and I thank you very much for the honor of being here. In terms of speaking languages, I do speak Spanish fluently, and I'm also bilingual and biliterate in that. In terms of community organizing, I have lived for a long time, and I think that's one of the advantages of having had many opportunities to serve both at the local level, at the state, and at the national level. But locally, one of my things that comes forward in my mind as I'm thinking of the thing was within the South Central area, when I organized parents that needed a voice in the education field to have students receive services from the education department, tutoring, and access to the superintendent. I was one of the key leaders to organize different ethnicities within the South Central area, especially within the Compton area, which I'm very proud of. In the areas of human relations, and I am a human relations consultant, not only for the city of Los Angeles, but also for the 88 cities. So my work takes me over 88 cities. And the one that I really am, is in the forefront of my memory right now, council people, is the work that I did in the Antelope Valley. There, we were told to go out there, review the process of the skinhead issue, resolve it, and bring a report back in 30 days. Unfortunately, it took about 2 years to find out where those issues were, to organize not only the municipality, but the people who actually said, this is what exists out here, here's what we need to do, now help us do it. And now you have the Antelope Valley Task Force. It was a collaboration, and I see this effort as a commissioner, a collaboration of what exists, what we need to do, an idea of listening, and those are the elements that take for good commissioner participation and representation. So the two areas are in the education field and also community organizing at the grassroots level, as you well know. I could go on into other areas, but let me suffice to say that's it.
Thank you. Mr. Pack?
Yes, thank you very much. First, I'd like to thank Councilwoman Miskowski for her kind words, and also Councilman Fuhr for raising the consciousness and the awareness and the importance of this particular commission. I enjoyed the conversations, and I will guarantee to you that I think we will do the best we can to make sure that we follow through. In terms of my involvement, in the Korean American community, they call me a 1.5 generation. I was born in Korea and came here in 1970. Since then, I've been very active in the community as a grassroots, really, to start an organization back in 1983 of the first English-speaking Korean American community organization known as the Korean American Coalition. Been involved in organizing that particular group to raise the consciousness of both what it is to be in this city and living in this city, as well as to raise the consciousness of not just Korean Americans, but the other members of the community that bounds our community with the Hispanic community as well as the African American community, and trying to create those relations. We've done everything from voter registration drives to doing letter writing campaigns to get better awareness, as well as getting access to government. And I think I'm a product of that empowerment, or the ability to want to be empowered, because out of that group, I'm here before you talking about how we can better the city through this done department. And in the community that I live in now in Playa del Rey, I'm a homeowner, but I grew up as a renter. As an immigrant family, you have a tendency to move around and live in a lot of different parts of the city, and we probably cover about 6 districts in the city of LA. Lived in Hollywood, Pico Union, lived in Sun Valley, and now as a resident of Playa del Rey, I'm involved with Westchester YMCA. I'm involved in an issue that's very important and critical and controversial, and that's the expansion of the LA airport. And for better or worse, I think the dialogue is created, and that's a healthy thing. And I will continue to participate to make sure that the quality of life for the neighbors and the communities is well preserved.
You, Mr. Pacheco.
I stand, Council President and members, in support of the 7, primarily because of the concerns that were raised, as I heard them, don't really reflect the discussions, the debate, the history that I'm familiar with as a Charter Reform Commissioner. When we looked at the commission and what its role would be, we were not looking for the individuals to be actually the organizers in the communities. We did not look at them as being the individuals who set the conditions in the community for organizing, because truly it would go against the grain of what we were thinking. At the time when we were thinking about neighborhood councils, we chose this structure primarily because there were a significant number of us in the commission who thought that the organization called the neighborhood council, which I always criticized, because I always felt that there is no way that we're going to be able to do this in a way that consistently fills the need to say this is a neighborhood council that represents one neighborhood. Because in Boyle Heights, I can tell you right now, within the neighborhood called Boyle Heights, there are at least 4 different entities. You can look at the Mothers of East LA through the Resurrection Parish. You can look at the Madres de Este Los Angeles from the San Isabel Parish. You can look at the Pico Aliso projects, and you can look at the Wyvenwood projects. 4 different experiences, 4 different unique points of views. I always thought these should have been called local boards to get local representation on the local issues. But these individuals represent diversity. I am not, I disagree with Councilmember Hernandez. I am not necessarily taken aback or have any problems with the fact that no one lives in my district. Sister Jenny works very hard in the district, has done a lot of good work for the Boyle Heights area. I feel that the Latino representation on the panel satisfies any sort of ethnic concerns and the language that's been brought forward in terms of what they can provide. But really, neighborhood councils are supposed to be from the bottom up. And if we're going to support neighborhood councils, really that's the philosophy and the point of view that we need to endorse. So I don't look to you, 6 or 7, with all due respect, to come into my neighborhood and organize my neighborhood. We have our leadership, and they will be presenting their plans to you, and you will see that our community can organize themselves and will produce some positive participation for the city. So I will support you as city leaders.
Mr. Padilla?
Thank you, Mr. President. I, too, rise in support of the 7 appointed commissioners presented to us. You know, there's this word called synergy, and many of us have heard synergy described as when the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. And I do believe that's what has been achieved with this panel that's before us for approval, for appointment. You know, I support them not only because of what they can achieve as a panel, but also the sum of the parts. If you look at the backgrounds and the biographies of each of them as individuals, I believe we've done very well, not just a satisfactory job, but very well in guaranteeing diversity of cultural backgrounds, of language, of careers, of educational backgrounds, the geographic diversity, a diversity of experiences. And given a lot of their experiences, not only in civic duties, but at the community level and with grassroots organizations, I'm confident that all of them, particularly the ones that I've had personal experiences with, will not only incorporate their own experiences, but the experiences and perspective of others that they've worked with and have testified before them or that they've had to work and disagree with. They will incorporate different perspectives and different points of view in their decision-making, so they have my support. And I just want to make one special note to Mr. Weaver. You mentioned the concern about not having a long list of background, a long history of experience. Well, I'll tell you, the advantage you have is you don't have the baggage that some of us might develop over time. But really, I was pleased to see your name added to this list because, similar to my situation, you bring the perspective of a younger generation and hopefully not just a little bit less experience or a little bit less of a resume, but you have certainly the energy, the commitment, the vision of a future Los Angeles, and a little bit of the idealism that must be part of this very important commission. Thank you very much.
Mr. Savornich.
Thank you, Mr. President. As one of the old-timers now here, one of the things to which I think I could safely say that it would be an understatement that in regards to the endeavor we saw regarding the charter gave me great heartburn, and I still have some concerns in regards to where we are going to be going in the future with the charter reform package that will go into effect on July 1st of next year. But indeed, the voters of the city did speak. A little more than 60% to a little less than 40% in regards to this is the direction they wanted to see the city go and embark on this type of neighborhood government and empowerment. And I too am going to support all 7 nominees this afternoon to the Board of Neighborhood Commissioners. And I have been one over the course of the last 6 years, sometimes in jest and sometimes in all seriousness, that to me at times it seemed that diversity as defined by the 8th floor of this building was 5 attorneys representing 5 different branches of the law. And what I see here today is much more and much better than that. And yes, while it is difficult when you only have 7 positions for neighborhood commissioners to appoint, and there are 15 distinct and diverse council districts in the city, yes, it's hard to be able to come up with 7 out of 15 areas. But as I look at the list and where these commissioners hail from, I think the mayor has done a good job and a much better job than I have heretofore seen in regards to trying to have a diverse panel represent the very multitude of interests in the greater city of Los Angeles. I also have the pleasure of knowing more than just a few of the commissioners, and have had an opportunity to work with them and know that their commitment to the city is genuine and sincere, and even though they may not be physically located from one part of a city versus another, I know that each and every one of them heart is in the right place, and that neighborhoods will be treated as neighborhoods, will be treated with the utmost dignity and respect, and the people living in those neighborhoods, no matter where those folks are from and no matter where these commission appointees reside. I have that much faith in them. I also, again, would like to say that this is a whole new course that we are chartering. This is something that has never been done before in the city of Los Angeles. And I think these 7 appointees know very well that the task before them will be difficult. But knowing quite a few of them personally and knowing the backgrounds of the other, I think they are up to the task and they warrant our affirmative vote today.
Thank you. Mrs. Chick.
Yes, I want to thank my colleagues and the nominees. I feel very satisfied and pleased that what I intended or hoped to occur has in fact occurred. The nominees have been given a fuller opportunity to make certain aspects of their background known that perhaps weren't addressed in committee. I also think this has been worthwhile for several other reasons. One, because I think you've had an opportunity to get a fairly clear idea of what the vision for the department and neighborhood councils is on the part of the council, the city council, and how important this is to all of us. And I think also this has served to educate the larger public and our viewership to begin to get acquainted with you and to have a clear idea of what the department and neighborhood councils are going to be all about. As chair of the Government Efficiency Committee, I will especially be looking forward to working hand in hand with you and the new general manager, and certainly in terms of the new general manager, have high hopes that the mayor also has been, in some sense, participating in this dialogue and process and knows how important it is that that person who will lead you and all of us and the city to create neighborhood councils in a way that meets the needs of this very diverse city. And with that, I will let the vote be taken.
Okay, we have a motion from Mr. Fuhr for all. Ms. Goldberg?
I just need advice from the chair. I do not wish to break a quorum, but I do not wish to vote no, and I do not wish to vote aye. Is there any method by which I can abstain and stay in the room?
No? No?
Yeah, I'm the 10th person. So
Yeah, I
there's
know.
no method by which I can abstain.
Oh, you're going to try to get Mark Ridley Thomas back?
Well, they're not going to come back, either of them.
Well, then we won't have a quorum for this.
I understand that. I don't wish to break a
Well,
quorum,
that's
that's why
it.
I'm asking the question.
You can't.
There's no method at all.
There's no method at all. Is there any method, city attorney?
If you're in the room, you are considered a yes vote unless you affirmatively vote no.
I will remain as a courtesy to the process, but that's not because I am
Okay,
going to
prepare the
support it.
roll on Mr. Fuhr's motion. Tabulate the vote.
10 ayes.
That is approved, and we'll point out Tuesday that you wanted to abstain.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Forthwith on that. Item number 28 is a closed session is going to be continued until Tuesday. Okay, congratulations and thank you for serving the city. From the way you talk, they're going to
that's
be
a good
long
idea.
meetings, I'm sure.
Okay.
Okay, the next item.
I'd like to make my presentation, and then I'd like to ask that we,
Yeah, can we just?
Go ahead.
Okay,
Items number 13 through 21, public hearings held.
yeah, okay. Any specials by council members? Seeing none, prepare the roll on 13 through 21 with the exception of, I guess that's all of them, isn't it? Tabulate the vote.
10 ayes.
Those are approved. Next item, forthwith on 21.
23 through 27 on the regular agenda, public hearings have not been held.
We have 24, somebody wants to be heard. Anybody want to be heard in the other items, 23 through 27 with the exception of 24? Seeing none. At, 26, we're going to adopt B. So prepare the roll on 23, 25, 26B, 27. Tabulate the vote.
10 ayes.
Which? Yeah. We're going to reconsider item 15 and call that on the desk, please. Our-
okay, see if you stand closer here so they get you on television. We want to get you on television here. That's it. That's it. Okay. It's channel 35 on cable if you get cable. Mr. President? Yes, no, yes? Thank you. Mr. President, members of the council, a bit belated but nonetheless worthwhile. These are young people from Ramona Elementary School in my district, and some 10 years ago, they adopted the senior citizens at Kingsley Manor, which is a senior citizens facility not too far, actually pretty much walking distance from the school, not too far. Today, we want to honor that valuable relationship and honor both the students at Ramona Elementary and the residents and the staff of Kingsley Manor Retirement Home. The children visit their adopted parents on a regular basis. They perform for them. They make holiday greeting cards. They brighten their days. It's a bond that has become pretty amazing. And so first I want to call up the principal of Ramona Elementary School, Mrs. Susan Arcaris. Where are you? and just say that we want to recognize the development of an innovative partnership. Let's see if we can get you a little bit closer here, involving all grades in the school for the past 10 years and involving, of course, the Kingsley Manor Retirement Home. So we want to thank you very much for that.
Thank you very much.
And here's one for the school as a whole.
All right.
And then we have a recognition from someone here from Kingsley Manor. Hi, nice seeing you again. How you doing? Okay, and then we have Anna Marie Lardot, who I understand has been kind of the spearhead staff member of this. Thank you very much. Jean Abania. Thank you. How you doing? And Hannah Meitlis, who's a teacher at Ramona Elementary School, who I know also has been very involved in doing this. Okay. If anybody'd like to just say a brief, we're in the middle of a meeting, but still, if you want to briefly say anything, now's your chance. Okay. Let me just say to you folks that where this is possible in your areas, I really encourage you to encourage it, because connecting seniors to kids is good for both groups. And this has been a really wonderful relationship, 10 years long. And the school and the Kingsley Manor staff and the staff of Ramona Elementary School, and then all of these charming, wonderful young people have all made this relationship work, and it has made the community a better place for everyone. Thank you very much for joining me in honoring them. Thank you. Now, if you want to go back to there, we'll take a...
Thank you, Councilwoman. Mr. Clerk, next item of business.
There's a request to reconsider item number 15.
Okay. There's been a request to reconsider item number 15. Is there any objection? Okay, seeing none, item number 15 is before us. Who has requested the reconsideration?
Is someone
The
here
chair
from
recognizes
staff?
Mr. Hernandez.
Yeah, is someone here from staff from CRA?
Do we have CRA staff available for item number 15? If staff could please come forward and take your place at the table here. Mr. Hernandez?
Yeah, I had some questions I wanted to ask. It's my understanding that the financing that's currently proposed to be approved is basically, we haven't approved a budget for CRA, have we?
No, you haven't.
So how's that coming before us? Is part of that budget some bond issuances?
It's part of the budget, what?
Is there going to be bond issuances?
No, sir, there isn't.
Okay, well, why is it that on a chart here, identified 5-year resources work program, Council District 9, you have basically Bunker Hill program income, a negative of $675,000?
I don't know what you're looking at, and I can't answer that question.
Maybe you want to come up and look at it. Because my understanding is this income is supposed to be derived by a bond issuance that would take approval of this council. And if that bond issuance hasn't been approved, we're allocating money that basically is pending some kind of a process by us. And we still don't have a budget. Yes. Uh-huh. I have a worksheet here from CRA that talks about Bunker Hill program income, basically for year one at a negative of $675,000, with a notation from the department that indicated to us that they were planning to issue a bond to derive some of that income.
The item that you have before you is not impacted by this particular project. There is a budget item that you have that is FY00 that will be coming to you at a later date. The item before us this morning isn't impacted by that particular budget.
Well, aren't you getting the money from program income from Bunker Hills?
No, sir. The dollars that we are looking at for this particular project is currently in our existing budget. What we are also talking about is the $1.2 million has already been approved by EDA, and we are also...
I know about the EDA grant.
Yes.
That went through my office,
Yes.
my committee.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm looking at your report. Your report is requesting, under authorization number 1, the recommendation.
Yes.
It's requesting $100,000.
Yes.
Bunker Hill program income.
Yes.
while you're showing a deficit of $675,000 in the budget you're going to present to us in Bunker Hill program income?
The dollars, the $100,000 is monies that are currently available in the existing budget, not the future budget. What you're looking at is the future budget.
So is the future budget down 535,000 or 635,000?
I can't answer that question because this is the first time I've seen that particular document, but this particular item on 15 isn't impacted by, this item is not impacted by the new
Members of
budget
the
that's
council,
coming before
members of
you.
the council, I'd like to continue this item till next Tuesday so that we can sit down. Apparently, what I'm trying to tell you is you got a proposed budget before your board that says the Bunker Hill program dollars has a deficit of $675,500. Now, you're asking us to expend $100,000 of Bunker Hill program dollars.
What you have in your hand, I cannot answer the question.
Mr. Hernandez, I think your point is well taken, that perhaps we continue this item until next Tuesday's council meeting in order that there would be an opportunity for CRA staff to meet with you and your staff in order that some of these issues can be addressed.
Thank you.
Okay. Without objection, we are going to continue item number 15 until Tuesday's agenda. Without objection, that will be the order. The next item before us, Mr. Clerk.
Item 24.
Item number 24, and we do have some cards. What I would like to ask as the hour is starting to get late is if persons who we call to speak could please not repeat and to make your comments as brief as possible. Also, in the interest of time, I am going to call all of the speakers at once, and if you would please form a line behind the podium here, and as one speaker finishes, the others step up, I would appreciate it. The speakers on item number 24 is as follows: Gil Ray, Miguel Contreras, Norma Torres, Harold Brogan, Reverend William Monroe Campbell, and Reverend Norman Copeland. If, as you step up to the microphone, if you would identify yourself for the record and then begin speaking, we would appreciate it. Mr. Ray, go right ahead.
Gil Ray with O'Melveny and Myers, representing AHL Services. I'm a little confused. I thought we were going to get a report from the CAO in the Department of Airports, and then I was going to respond. I wanted to hear the report first. Is that not going to happen?
I believe the CAO and the Department of Airports is prepared to make a report. If the speakers would like to wait until that report is made, we'd be happy to accommodate that request.
I would appreciate that.
Okay. May I please have the CAO and the Department of Airports representative please come forward in order to make a report on item number 24, please?
And, Mr. Chairman,
And as
since-
they are doing that, the chair recognizes Councilwoman Goldberg.
Just also, I'd like to ask the Center for Dispute Resolution, who also is a part of the report and part of the process, if they might also join us up here at the table.
So ordered. Center for Dispute Resolution also, if you could, please. I believe it would be appropriate to first have the, either the city administrative officer or the Department of Airports go first, whoever would like to go, so please go right ahead. CAO.
By council motion, we were asked to review or observe the referendum election to unionize employees of AHL Services and report back on the fairness, results, and the conduct of the elections. On the day of the process, we sent a team out to do just that and observed a fair process. We did not identify any significant problems. We felt that the process was conducted appropriately and, as I said, fairly. Airports.
Daniel Shimura, representing the Department of Airports. The department has reviewed the report, and we concur with the CAO's findings.
Okay. Did we want to ask
I'd like to hear from the Center.
the Center for Dispute Resolution if they would like to make a quick presentation also?
Thank you very much. We have copies of a more detailed report to hand out to all the council members. How would you like us to do that?
One of your staff is more than welcome to give it to the sergeant, and the sergeant will distribute it to the council members.
Thank you very much. My name is Ken Cloak. I'm the director of the Center for Dispute Resolution in Santa Monica. And we were requested initially by the Service Employees International Union Local 1877 to supervise the conduct of an election among employees at the airport. We immediately responded by requesting the company to participate in this process, which the company refused to do. We proceeded with the election and appointed an oversight panel, which included a number of members whose biographies are listed in the report. We had numerous poll observers and other individuals to observe the process, and we have included all of their information in the report, which you have available to you, which I will not take time to review right at this moment. Let me say, however, by way of background, that I spent 8 years as an administrative law judge supervising union elections for the Agricultural Labor Relations Board and the Public Employment Relations Board. I also spent many years as a law professor teaching labor law and have been a mediator in a large number of labor management disputes. That's by way of my personal background. There is additional personal background on the part of the other panel members who participated in this. The results are given at the very end of the first section of the report, which is that, just to skip directly to what the outcomes were, 428 ballots were cast during voting hours at official voting locations. The numbers were tabulated immediately afterwards, supervised both by the Center for Dispute Resolution and by the oversight panel members. Of these ballots, 16 were rejected as invalid, an addition 5 for improper markings and 11 for insufficient photo identification, which was required for each individual voting. 7 ballots were provisionally marked and have been left uncounted. Out of the remainder, the 405 votes that were tallied, there were 384 individuals who voted yes, indicating they wished to be represented by the union, and 21 who voted no, indicating they did not wish to be represented by the union. There were, in the course of our conducting of this election, a number of alleged violations. Tessa Carmen DeRoy, who is the election staff person for the Center for Dispute Resolution who supervised the election process, will comment on these.
Yes, if we could briefly go through those, we would appreciate it.
Sure. In preparation for the election, we did set up a hotline so that workers would have an opportunity to report any activities that may have in some way inhibited them or in some way kept them from voting in the election. There were a number of reports both on the day of the election itself and 22 calls to the hotline. Of those 22 calls, as referenced on page 3 of our report, 9 reported the distribution of flyers, which are enclosed as an attachment to this report, to Argonbright employees by management and supervisors of the company, attempting to discredit the union as well as the Center for Dispute Resolution and the process itself. 7 calls were reporting the intimidation of workers in the form of one-on-one discussions between supervisors and employees, as well as quote-unquote captive audience meetings, threats that voting in uniform or during working hours, including their break time, would result in disciplinary action. And there were an additional 6 reports of the distribution of other forms of misinformation, including allegations that the election was illegal and fraudulent. Additionally, we received 3 calls to the hotline that reported harassment, intimidation without citing any specifics of what form that took, and 1 caller requesting that the center not continue to send out information which was being sent to workers at that time. Additionally, on the day of the election, our legal observers as well as poll monitors and CDR staff received numerous complaints from workers that they were being told that if they voted in uniform, there would be disciplinary action against them. And a couple of interactions between our legal observers and Argonbright supervisors who had been attempting to remove our legal observers from Department of Airports public property. One other incident, which I unfortunately don't have the documentation with me today, but could be provided by the airport police or by the Los Angeles Police Department, includes that there were 10 signs posted within the 3 terminals in which this election were held. Of those 10 signs, within 24 hours of being posted by the Department of Airports, 7 of them had been removed, an additional 2 had been vandalized, as well as in an off-site facility for Delta parking. There was an additional 3 signs, 2 of which were removed and witnessed by a worker as being removed by Argon Bright, by an Argon Bright supervisor. So there was significant violations of election procedures, which, at least on the part of workers, reported to me and to our staff, did in some way inhibit a number of people from voting.
Thank you, ma'am. I believe now we will go into the public testimony, and if those of you at the center tables could remain if there's any questions of council members, I would appreciate it. The first 3 speakers again is Gil Ray, Miguel Contreras, and Ms. Norma Torres. Mr. Ray?
Again, Gil Ray. I thank you for the opportunity to speak today. I think the report really highlights the complexity of the labor process that you are currently involved in. And in short, I recognize the shortness of time. I want to state that Argon Bright did not interfere in the election process. It encouraged its employees not to vote. It encourages employees to protect its rights. It should follow the NLRB established procedures. In all due deference to the Department of Airports and to the CAO, I do not think they are experienced in monitoring, observing elections. In all due deference to the the Center for Dispute Resolution, the report, based on what I heard, seemed to be substantially one-sided. I do have a letter in shortness of time setting forth the numerous flaws that we saw and observed in connection with the election, and we will submit that for the record, and we also have copies. They were numerous. A few examples are the sanctity of the voting booth. Another example is that SEIU supporters transported ballot boxes from one terminal to another. There was no determination of eligible voters. None of those activities would be permitted by the NLRB. We're losing focus here. Our client does not resist having a secret sanctioned election. We encourage the SEIU and have for months to join with Argon Bright to facilitate an NLRB supervised secret ballot election. We have made a filing with the NLRB to accomplish that, and we want the SEIU to join us. In view of the foregoing, we urge the council to not become further involved in these matters and to let the specialized federal agency, the National Labor Relations Board, conduct elections regarding employee representation as it has been doing for the last 6 decades in over 300,000 elections, and indeed, SEIU has participated in numerous NLRB elections. We suggest that because the NLRB has the time-tested policies, procedures, protections available both to management and to the employees. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Contreras?
Happy birthday. Today's my birthday, yes. No, we won't go there. Good afternoon, council members. Miguel Contreras with the Los Angeles County Federation of Labor. We're here today to just to inform you our position on this election. We've been monitoring and actively supporting the efforts of the Argon Bright workers to organize since they began last year. It's a group of workers here that we're targeting, the labor movement is targeting. It's the kind of workers that we think are most in need of proper representation, low-wage workers, mostly women, people of color working at Argon Bright, and they ought to get a fair break working at the airport. They ought to get paid a livable wage. They ought to have some decent benefits that they don't have now. We're very disappointed in what we just heard from the Argon Bright representative. We're disappointed in the actions of Argon Bright and the attitudes in their response to workers organizing. The company has done nothing but throw obstacles up to stop the workers from organizing. As an airport commissioner, I've heard testimony detailing illegal harassment, threats, and coercion of workers. Argon Bright has used one-on-one meetings, like you heard, and forced group meetings to try to intimidate workers from organizing. One day, just a few months ago, one worker spoke up at one of these meetings where Frank Augenbright was present. The next day, he was fired by Augenbright. Augenbright has they displayed a total disdain for the legal rights of these workers. In fact, they act as they have no legal rights whatsoever. And to hear from the Augenbright representatives about how the union should go to a National Labor Relations Board is insidious. This is the same company who just a few years ago fought the unions at the National Labor Relations Board, claiming that the National Labor Relations Board had no jurisdiction on their employees. So all of a sudden, they're doing a whole flip. All of a sudden, they're asking us to go to the National Labor Relations Board. A few years ago, they're fighting us saying that they had no jurisdiction, the National Labor Relations Board. It's a catch-22 that they want to put us in there, but we're not going to fall for their traps. We have worked out an arrangement where we can peacefully work out union representation without using the National Labor Relations Board. At the airport alone, this method is being used. We've, in the last year or so, hundreds of privatized janitors, food service, and retail clerks have reached peaceful resolutions for union representation with responsible employers through neutrality and card check. So it's a system that works at the airport, but the key here is responsible employers. We worked out responsible employers with CA1. We worked out with duty-free shops. We worked it out with W.H. Smith. But with Augenbright, the door gets slammed on the workers at every single occasion. But enough is enough. We are appalled the way that Augenbright is trying to get away with this kind of behavior at LAX. For example, even on the worker intimidation, the client of Augenbright, United Airlines, has not yet obtained the anti-retaliation pledge for union organizing that this council required by passing the living wage ordinance. So again, they're trying to delay, trying to stall, and trying to ignore the law. We don't think that Augenbright can get away with it. We got to remind them that they're no longer in Georgia, they're in Los Angeles, and they got upheld by the living wage law passed by the city council. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Norma Torres, followed by Harold Brogan.
Good morning, honored members of the City Council. My name is Maria Mosqueda. I am here instead Norma Torres because she had to go to work at 12. I work at Terminal 7 with United, escorting passengers without visas at Los Angeles Airport. I know I am in a free country. I am here to speak for my rights. We have more than a year trying to organize to have a union, and always I am a struggle because the company, Augenbright, always tried too many tactics to stop us and to break us down. I know this is against the law. This is not fair because I believe having a union is having a better life, especially for our families. I was here a few weeks ago to speak to you about these elections. I want a thank you for supporting us in our rights. We're going to need you to continue support because without you, they won't respect us. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you, ma'am. Harold Brogan, followed by Reverend Campbell.
My issue with Augenbright is the ordinance that you passed, the living wage ordinance, and the sick days. They retaliated by taking our vacation. So we no longer work a year to have a vacation and include the 10 or 12 sick days we were supposed to have. They took the vacation, they call those days now paid days off. So out of the 10 or 12 days that you get a year, and you get them 1 month a year, you have to save them to the end of the year in order to take whatever your vacation. That is the disrespect that they have for their employees. And basically, that's all I got to say.
Thank you, sir. Reverend Campbell, followed by Reverend Copeland.
Thank you, members of the council. to the chair. I am Reverend William Monroe Campbell with Clergy and Laity United for Economic Justice and with the Second Baptist Church of Los Angeles. As you know, I have been before your body before to advocate for the interests of low-paid workers. On the occasion, September 10th, I was out at the airport to encourage the workers to take advantage of the opportunity to voice their desire for representation. I was confronted by Mr. Joe Caricato, an account manager for Argenbright. He approached me and asked me, "Who are you?" My response was, "Who are you?" And then he looked at me and said, "Oh, you're here supporting this illegal election?" I said, "Are you saying it's an illegal election?" He said, "Yes, it's an illegal election." I asked him again, "Are you saying it is an illegal election?" He said, "Then let me ask you a question." He asked me, "Are you telling the workers that it's going to put the union in place?" I said, "No. It's giving the workers the opportunity to voice their desire for representation." After a period of conversation, he then acknowledged that it was not an illegal election, though he said it was an unbinding election. But it was that kind of attitude, his approach to me as a stranger to say this is an illegal election, that reflected the atmosphere that Argenbright had created to intimidate the workers and discourage them from exercising their First Amendment right to voice their own concerns about how they might be represented in the workplace. I had another worker who was literally afraid to vote, and she shared that she was afraid to vote because she was afraid she would lose her job. I assured her that she would not lose her job, and so with timidity she went forward to vote. My concern to the council is that you need to hold the companies that do business with you, including United Airlines, the primary contractor, and Argenbright, the subcontractor, hold them accountable for their treatment of the citizenry. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend. Reverend Copeland? Reverend Copeland? I'm here. Go right ahead, sir, and if you could just finish up because we need to proceed.
I represent the Los Angeles Council of Churches, and I am here to say thank you for your response and your support of the letter sent to you in terms of the Center for Dispute Resolution being a part of preparing for a clear and effective way to establish a union at the airport. I say to you that fair wages is just more than an increase of income. It's hospitalization, it's dental plans, it's tires for the car, it's food for the children going for the lunch program at schools. It's the opportunity to have a warm meal at night. It's keeping the electricity on at the house. It's making decisions between whether or not you eat a solid meal or junk food in a day's time. So we are thankful that you have made a choice to support and to bring clarity to this issue of union and labor. There's an old saying, whenever two elephants fight, only the grass is injured. Today, the grass is being injured. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend. That is all the speaker's cards that I have on this item. I believe this item is for note and file unless
Actually-
council colleagues would like to make some closing comments.
Actually, I would like to ask that we move the reports from the CAO and from the Center for Dispute Resolution to Personnel Committee, because I believe that there might be some other action that is anticipated. I don't know that, but I'd like to at least ask for the opportunity to hear it, and then we'll bring a report back and
Okay, without objection, that will be the order. I have two other speakers that would like to speak on this. Colleagues, would you like to speak on it this time, or would you like to wait till it comes back from Personnel Committee? We're about to lose a quorum.
well, that's why I suggested it go to committee. 'Cause we
Exactly.
could have the same discussion there and have plenty of time.
Okay, in the interest of colleagues wanting to excuse themselves because of commitments, I do have three speakers of the council that would like to speak. If you could make it really quick, because we have one more item under a special agenda that we need to deal with. So the chair would like to recognize Councilman Hernandez.
I'll wait for it to come back.
Thank you, Councilman. The chair recognizes Councilman Padilla.
Just 30 seconds. I want to second the motion. I think it's going to go through easily. You know, in reviewing the documents, both from the CAO and the CDR, I'm very concerned with the allegations and the complaints that have been registered, and for the conclusion to have been written that a fair, open election was held, I think is reaching too far, given what we know about the activities and the allegations that took place during the election and in the campaigning thereof. So I'm looking forward to it having be reviewed and discussed in committee.
Thank you, Councilman. The chair recognizes Councilwoman Chick.
Yes, I would just like to ask my colleague who chairs personnel that when this goes to committee, is it at all possible to have the participation of a representation of the NLRB and to hear from them in terms of what their process would be, what their timeline would be, and in particular, a discussion of some potential problems with the classification of security guards in terms of how they would do the election? I'd like to have that as part of the discussion that comes back.
I'm not sure they'll do that, but we'll inquire.
Okay.
Okay, without objection, item number 24 will be referred to the Personnel Committee. That will be the order. At this time, we are going to recess this council meeting and call to order a special council meeting. Mr. Clerk, would you call the roll?
Burnson, Chick, Fior, Galanter, Goldberg, Hernandez, Holden, Miskowski, Pacheco, Padilla, Ridley Thomas, Vornich, Wax, Walters, Ferraro, 10 members present and a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk, very much. We have one item before us. Proceed.
Item number 1 is before you.
Mr. President, if I can just...
The chair recognizes Councilwoman Miskowski.
This is a unanimous recommendation by Budget and Finance Committee. The reason it was special was supposed to be on the regular agenda. It's allowing a contract which has been previously approved to go forward with consensus of the Police Department, which is the agency executing, and we have the City Attorney here. If there's no questions, I would just move it.
Council members, this is a reappropriation of funds for the Safe Women's Domestic Abuse Response Team program. Are there any other questions or comments by colleagues? Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, would you please open the roll? Tabulate the vote.
10 ayes.
That is approved forthwith.
Thank you.
Is there any other business before the special council meeting? Seeing none, the special council meeting is adjourned. We are now back into regular session of the regular council meeting. Is there any other business before us?
Public comment is now called for.
Okay, I do not have any cards for public comment this afternoon. As such, we will now go into adjourning motions. Excuse me, before we do that, we do have some requests to be excused. Mr. Clerk?
Okay. Councilmember Savornich requests to be excused on Wednesday, 11th of November.
Oh, so ordered.
And the 17th of November and the 19th of November.
Oh, absolutely.
Wait, yeah.
The Councilmember Chick requests to be excused on November 5th to leave at 11:15. This meets policy.
So ordered.
Councilmember Burnson requests to be excused on October 22nd. This meets policy.
So ordered.
Mr. President.
Councilmember Miskowski requests to be excused on November 12th for personal business. This requires a motion.
Move it, Mr. President.
There's a motion. I hear a second.
Mr. President, I
No
just
objection, that'll be
didn't want
ordered.
to do any of your orders, but I'd like to remind everybody we're doing this without a quorum.
Have we lost a quorum?
Yeah, we can do adjourning.
Those excuses that were approved or, I don't know whether or not they were approved if we start a quorum. Mr. Clerk, you'll need to check that.
Yeah, I think Ms. Chick was...
So, as such, I believe we will now be going into adjourning motions. Chair recognizes Mr. Burnson.
Members of the council, I'd ask that we adjourn in memory of Charles Chuck Shannon. He was a assistant to the LAFCO Commission for a number of years as a consulting civil engineer. He passed away, and his funeral was held yesterday.
Thank you, Mr. Burnson. Councilman Padilla.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Wish the council to adjourn in memory of Guillermo Sandoval, who was a student at San Fernando High School and a resident of Mission Hills. As a As an aspiring student and a good young man, he was involved with many school activities and interested in pursuing a science career. He was a member of the Mathematics, Engineering, and Science Achievement, the MESA program, and was a member of the high school's first-place geometry team this past June. He was 16 years old and passed away from injuries sustained in an automobile accident this last weekend.
Councilman Pacheco?
Ask that we adjourn in memory of Robert Alcocer, who passed away Friday, September 10th, 1999. Robert passed away due to a long-standing illness. Robert is survived by his father-in-law, Paul Salas, the honorary mayor of El Sereno, and his 4 children, Michael, Christopher, Deanna, and Jeanette. Robert was 65 years old and a resident of El Sereno.
Councilman Wax?
Yes, last week, while I was absent, I know the council adjourned in the memory of Edita Spiegel, Etta, who had been the wife of Abe Spiegel. Unfortunately, just the week before that, Abe also lost his nephew, Fred Rovin, who was Blanca's son, and so he had two tragic losses within a week, and I'd like the council to adjourn in the memory of Fred Rovin.
I'd like to be a second on that.
And also, while the council was in recess, Officer Paul Cardenet of North Hollywood passed away, and that should not go unnoticed. He was an incredibly brave officer who battled cancer for a long period of time and was a source of inspiration to all of the officers in the North Hollywood Division, as he never gave up his hope of coming back one day, and he lost a valiant battle of cancer at the age, I think, of 42, and I'll give the clerk the pertinent information.
Thank you.
I think all members.
Thank you, Mr. Wax.
should join.
All members.
If I can add, I'm sorry, just to that previous motion, that Officer Cardenet was most recently in the news just over a year ago when he wedded
That's right.
at the North Hollywood Police Station.
And I do have one myself. I'd like to ask the council adjourn in memory of Henry Ungaro, who passed away last Tuesday, September 14th. He was born on December 19th, 1942 in San Pedro and was a lifetime resident and was the owner of San Pedro Fish Market next to Port Sacal for many years. He is survived by his wife Marie, sons Michael, John, and Henry, daughter Jennifer, 4 grandchildren, his mother Clara, sisters Carol Ann and Betty, and will be sorely missed. Are there any others?
I'm sure all of us want to wish members of the Jewish community a meaningful Yom Kippur, an easy fast, and a Happy New Year, Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.
Thank you, Mr. Fuhr. Mr. Clerk, would you please call the roll? Being no further business before the council is adjourned. Everyone, please have a wonderful weekend.